Hey, what's up guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. I have another headlamp to show you today, and this is the MX500 headlamp from Foxelli. But before I get into the details about this, and we're going to try to keep this nice and short because this is actually a really impressive little headlamp. But prior to owning this headlamp and some of the other ones, just over my period of time of backpacking and hiking, the only brands that I really paid attention to when it came to lighting is Black Diamond and Petzl. And part of the reason for that is I'm a climber, those are climbing brands, and they make really high quality, good gear. But I want to point out that this Black Diamond Revolt is a $60 headlamp. And it has a max output of 130 lumens. It's also rechargeable, but I want to set that aside and show you the MX500 from Foxelli, because for $30 right now, as the time of this review, this headlamp is boasting 280 lumens of output, and it is also USB rechargeable. And it's water resistant, so it has a nice water resistant rating. I think it's IPX6 that allows it to be submersible underwater for a decent amount of time, down to a meter or something like that. So you've got a really lightweight, nice headlamp here that also does include a top strap, but I don't really like having the top strap, so I take that off, which is a good option to have. But there are some things I don't love about this light, but overall, really impressive. I mean, I had this out and it was on for several hours straight, and I didn't see any lack in performance as it got cold. The batteries lasted a long time, and in fact, it hasn't run out yet, even though the battery indicator light here on the side is showing that it does need to be recharged, which I will get to here at some point. But let's get into the things that I don't like about it first, and then we'll talk about everything else. So with the features of it, as far as how you cycle through the modes and how it turns on, the button to turn it on is here on the side. And I don't love having the button on the side because I have to push against this side right here with my thumb or whatever finger I'm using to be able to turn it on, and it's a little awkward, and especially if you're wearing gloves, it's not an easy button to press. So really it's the nitpicky thing that doesn't change the performance of the light, but I wish that the button to turn it on was on the top of the light like the Black Diamond and was a nice, big, fat, easy to press light. So not something that is changing the performance or the stars of the review, but it's just something that I wish had a little bit easier button to press. The other thing is I honestly don't love big battery packs on the back of a headlamp, especially with the cord running around the side. It's just more things to fail on the light, but I expect this to last a long time, and for $30, if it does fail, it's not that big of an issue to replace it, because I could buy 2 of these for the price that it costs to buy 1 of these, as well as knowing that I get higher output of light on this headlamp than I do on the Black Diamond. So really cool aspect of the headlamp that way. So what you've got on the light is 5 different output modes. The first one I'll show you is going to be the average. So this is a 95 lumen. So they say that this will go out to about 40 meters. So when you push that, it's going to turn off because I waited a long time. But if you want to cycle through the modes like back to back, so push and then press again, it's going to go up in brightness to the bright mode, which is 200 lumens. And then if I press it again, it'll turn off because I waited too long. So we'll turn it on, average, high, and then it's going to drop down to its low setting, which is 12 lumens. And then if we cycle through again, and get to that fourth output, that is going to be the ultra bright. Now that's the 280 lumens. My understanding is that the brightness of this is going to drop down to the bright setting, the 200 lumens, after a couple minutes of runtime. Obviously that is a fail-safe to make sure that A, it doesn't overheat, and B, you don't destroy the battery life on this. So if we press and hold on the side, this is going to turn on your SOS mode. So it's SOS in Morse code. It doesn't have a strobe, but it's a really nice feature of the light that some lights don't have. In fact, the Black Diamond one doesn't have it. Another thing to point out about it is you've got kind of two ways to diffuse the light. You can get a nice bright beam off of it that's pretty focused. Or if I slide this little cover down, this is going to be a little diffuser that's going to widen the beam, spread it out a little bit more, and make kind of a floodlight type situation, which is a really nice thing about this. It just adds one more aspect of the headlamp that some other lights don't have. Now keep in mind that in comparing this to the Black Diamond, which has 3 LEDs plus the red lights, the red LEDs, this Foxelli light has 1 LED. So you've seen the modes that I've been able to show you already. That is the extent of it. Where with the Black Diamond light, even though it's less lumens, if I want to have a red light or a lower light, I've got that option. Now that's something that the Foxelli doesn't have. So if that's important to you, then you're going to want to check out a different light. But as far as the functionality of the light, really comfortable. It's impressive. It's a nice elastic strap, a lot of adjustment on it. They do have this stretchy thing on the side with the cord. If you do have a really big noggin, then it's going to fit your head as well. And then also an articulating head on the light itself, so you're not blinding your friends and your neighbors and people while you're out hiking. If you turn over to the side and take a look at them, then you're not gonna blind them, and you can be able to see the trail nice and easy. So one of the things to note about how this headlamp is beneficial having the top strap is if you're going to be doing any kind of spelunking, caving, climbing, then this is really good for a helmet, and this will help it stay centered on your helmet, and as well as keep it in place. So there you go, guys. That's the Foxelli MX500. Seriously, it's a really cool headlamp. I'm really impressed with the performance of it in the time that I've been able to use it out in the field so far. But $30, it's pretty hard to beat. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and have an awesome day, guys.